as you saw in the title or description, we are going to do some mosaic word rocks. Now I'm using my pens in the video for speed purposes, but I was working on one back here using acrylic paints, and I actually use my dotting tools. I feel like I have a little bit more control getting into the points and things with dotting tools when you're using acrylic paint, but it is a lot more time consuming, so it is doable with the acrylic paints. I got a nice smudge I'll have to cover up, but it is more time consuming. So I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger on these larger stones here. Oh, this is not my newer Posca. I think one of my... So over time, here's a good little tip for you. Over time, Posca pens do wear down from working on rocks. I bet you this will be a good example. So this is more like a brand new point, but I use my blacks all the time. And here's the joy of live. Look at, you can see it's like a little bit more dull. See how much thicker that is? Okay, well, I guess you guys are gonna get to see me open a new Posca pen today. So I'll even show you even further. So I kind of go through my Poscas in a rotation. In the shop that we have, I buy the black 1Ms in 3-packs. This is my third one here. So let me show you this one. Look how far down this one's gotten over time. Now it still has ink in it, so I'll still use it when I'm doing rocks and filling them in. But yeah, so this one's brand new. The easiest way to get the plastic off is just to twist in opposite directions and it will kind of snap. And you always need to burp your pens. So this is a little side tutorial, I guess. I've talked about all this stuff before, but when you press down, you'll hear air kind of burst out sometimes in them. So you always want to do that first, because a lot of times it's changing pressure and things like that can make kind of an air bubble go in there. So make sure you've shaken it up a little bit. And then you kind of just pulse it into a hard surface until the ink starts running. Oh, this is exciting. I get a brand new... I know I have one around here somewhere else. Oh no, that's one too. So maybe it was just time. So once you do it a few times, you'll see the ink start to kind of flow down. And you just kind of, until you've got it running, see? So there we go. See the difference of how, maybe it's not huge, but when you're doing lining, it does make a difference. Okay. So on to the tutorial. So the first thing you're gonna do is decide on what word you wanna put on your rock. Really think about the size of your rock. You want the word to take up a good amount of space. So I don't wanna do like strength across my rock, because I'd have to do it very short and skinny to get it to fit on here. So I'm gonna do like love or hope. 4-letter words are good because you can squeeze them in here. Okay, you can turn your rock this way. But I want mine this way, so if somebody finds it, maybe they can kind of lean it up against something in their home. All right, so we're gonna do hope. It's just fitting right now. So we're gonna do block style letters. We're filling everything in, so give yourself a little bit of grace when you're doing your lettering. So 4 letters, you can kind of give yourself a halfway line. So they're gonna be pretty tall, and I'm gonna go pretty close to the edge, but I do want to at least have a little bit of color that will kind of squeeze to the side there. Now light hand with these, even that, see, you can splatter if you go too up and down as well. So hold it slightly to the side. And I don't know, do I want a little color in between? I think I want maybe a little bit of color to squeeze between these, so I am gonna give them a little bit of space. So if you're getting a lot of splatter, you're either pressing too hard or your rock might just be a little bit too bumpy. And then I got to decide if I want to, I think I want to do a capital E. This will be more interesting with the mosaic look. Okay. Once you have your word on here, and you can do this with the design too. We've done mosaic rock hearts, and we did a Christmas tree. You can really take this any way you want. Once it's on here, we're going to divide up our letters and our outside. You can make them into as large of pieces or as small as pieces as you want. The more pieces you do, obviously, the longer it's going to take you to fill in. But you know, it will look a little bit more intricate when you're done. So just kind of start going through and dividing your rock into kind of triangles and squares and things like that. And do my letters first. O is going to be interesting just because it has some rounded edges. Same with this P. And if you don't love a shape that you have, we're going to fill these in anyways, so you can kind of make some adjustments as you fill. Now when you pick your colors for filling in, I've got two things of colors to the side. I'm going to do warm colors on the outside and cooler colors on the inside. So just kind of think of some contrast. So you could do, you know, all blues on the inside and all pinks on the different shades. On here, I'm doing kind of ombre. I'm using two actual paint colors and then adding white to them. So just think about that a little bit, just so you have some contrast. That's really going to help pull the word out from all of the other design on the outside, because there is going to be a lot more space. I could have probably made this word even bigger on this rock, but because there's going to be some big areas of color. I might even grab some larger pens to fill this in a little faster, because it still might take me some time. I like to try to completely finish the rocks I do on these lives. Every once in a while I'll kind of walk away and show it when it's done if it starts getting too long. If you're really not good at sketching those, and I did kind of just draw that right on the rock because I do have quite a bit of practice, and even my lettering isn't like, you know, fabulous. But a quick little trick that you can do is you can write your word. So like love is another one I want to do. Write it with regular letters like this, and then go around it to outline it. Practice just kind of outlining your group of letters. And it will kind of give you a visual of what you want it to look like. And it will also help you practice. I didn't really make my E big enough there, but it will help you practice creating those kind of block looks. Okay, that should be enough. You can always add in more lines when you're going if you feel like you're getting too much space. So I want to do blue letters on the, or colors on the inside, and I'm going to do my warm colors on the outside. So you just go in and you start filling in. The only thing I try to make sure that I do not have the same color touching right next to itself. However, you could fill the entire thing in with the same color, because the divided lines is what really gives it that mosaic look. But if you're going to be alternating colors, that's kind of a rule of thumb I try to follow. So you can kind of in your head, if you've got three, no, 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna have to use the blue again by about here. And you can kind of bounce around your rock like that and just start filling in your letters. And it's better to go onto the black just a smidge if you need to get it into the corners, because we're going to come back when we're done with our black pen and we can clean up any edges that are a little sloppy or just not quite as crisp anymore. And since we have our nice brand new pen, we'll be able to get in there and do a real good job on that. I'm turning my rock. I'm trying not to. If you keep it this way and you're working, I don't know why I started on this side. I might accidentally put my pinky in, so that's why I'm turning my rock upside down. See, that's a good example. I want that green all the way up in that point. I'll add that black line back, so I'm not worried about that. So that will be light blue. So I'll do this little guy here, green. So that could be light blue, green. All right, so we've got it filled in the letters, so you can kind of see how that's coming along. And like I said, I've got my smaller ones here, but I've got some bigger. Well, we'll see how it's going. I didn't plan ahead to use the bigger ones, so I don't have them all over here. I'll do these. All right, so now when I do the outside ones, I'm doing the same process. I'm going to just try to make sure that the same colors aren't touching a lot, but this warm color on the background is really going to make those letters pop forward. And yeah, I mean, that's just about the gist of it. So I'll go around the letters here first so you'll be able to see the cool contrast that will happen here. It's funny, those almost look like Earth Day. You know, well, I guess that's what it could be. Hope for the earth, you know, the whole world. And I think Earth Day is right around the corner. So here's a second design. We did love, like we were talking about before. This one's not live, so I'm coming in and doing the opposite, pinks inside, blues outside. We're doing the same thing to get that contrast, but I made the word a little bigger. This is kind of what I was envisioning the first time. Sometimes when I'm live, things get away from me, and that hope was a little bit smaller. So I'm going to continue to fill these in. We will speed it up to the end where I'm touching up outlines on my live one. We'll kind of toggle back and forth here, and then we'll show off both of our completed rocks when they are finished. So right here, this spot, as of right now, is touching yellow, purple, and pink. So all you would do is you come back in with your black and you create another shape, just cutting it off from somewhere. So I can go from this intersection straight across. So now that can be purple, and then this could be pink or yellow. I'm gonna give it a second because I don't want to accidentally pull that color in to what I do. But just like that, you can fix your pattern so you don't end up messing it up and putting two next to each other if that's what you're going for. Like I said, you could do the entire outside the same color and the letters of the words the same color too. You could make this a two-toned design just as easily. So you just finished by crisping up all your black lines, nice and crisp on top of your colors to really clean everything up, and you are finished. So we've got our love and our hope. You can really do this with any word or a name if you like. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. Stay tuned, we'll roll into another fun rock painting idea. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. And if you have any rock painting tutorial requests, leave them in the comments below. Bye-bye.